What is up, everybody? This is CryptoCheck here. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be going over one of my live trades in the past. It's Atom BTC, or Cosmos to Bitcoin. I'm going to show you exactly how I came across this trade, how I prepared for it, how I planned for it, and exactly where I entered and exited and why. If you'd like to see more of this video in the future, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know. First, just to show you the exact proof of me taking this trade, I want to show you my trade output that I have in Binance of when I entered, exited, and the exact price levels that I did. So as you can see here in the bottom right corner, Atom BTC, this is an output of all of my trades, and I took this trade of Atom BTC on the 29th at 8:47 a.m. and I closed it at 9:05 the next day, so just about 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in this chart to just before when I took this trade, when I was kind of setting up for this trade, so you can get my exact thought process of why I set it up how I did and exactly why I took the trade. So as you saw, I took the trade on January 29th, but before we get into that, just going to zoom out in the few days upcoming to it. So as you can see on the bottom of my screen there, this is January 25th. Couple days before I was preparing to take this trade. Now when I was opening this chart to look at this trade and maybe look for a potential setup, I saw the market was moving pretty sideways in the time up until here. I still wanted to know where the next trade would possibly be, but I knew that it wasn't going to be any time in this area because when a price is kind of just hovering in this area, there's no support and resistance that I'm really going to be trading off of. I'm kind of waiting for it to either break upwards and then come back down to a price level I would buy it at, or just fall to a price I would buy it at. But where is that price? In order to get this information, I wanted to zoom out a little bit more since this takes up a significant amount of the chart, just going sideways here. So I went forward and clicked the 1 hour. And going to scroll this chart back just to the same day there, just to January 25th on the right hand side here. So now I'm looking for areas that are going to be potential support and resistances. And if you don't know how to trade support and resistances, I highly recommend you check out my video on trading support and resistances for beginners. It'll give you a brief overview of how I look for these things and really walk you through it. So from here, I started really narrowing down on where these potential support and resistances are. And I always like to grab my horizontal ray tool, which I have starred at the top, so it shows up here in my favorite tools list. If you don't have this, you can go over to the left-hand side, click on this, hover over horizontal ray, and just click the star here that you can see I have. That'll put it into a favorites bar, so it's much easier for you to get to in the future. Now I'm going to go ahead and click this. And I was just hovering the chart, kind of looking for, areas in the past that have acted as support and resistance. Obviously, I see this one where my mouse is currently hovering. And if I draw a line, perhaps it'll be more clear to you. You can see the price came up here and rejected it. Yeah, we went a little bit over, but nothing too concerning. Rejected it again here before we fell back down. Tried to support it. Hovered around this area for a bit. Came above it pretty significantly, back down and supported it, and then price went all in this area for a really long time before it came down, fell very hard, and where did it bounce? Right on this line. Same thing exactly right here and right here. So this is a pretty strong line. However, when something is already used as support after a nice downturn, for example, from all the way up here all the way down to here, I like to look for the next possible line. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and apply my template of a blue line. I use red for my stop losses, blues are for my support and resistances. So if you want to do the same and you have templates set, you just right click, hover template, and you can click on the ones you have set. If you don't already have templates set, I do show you how to do this in my TradingView 101 video that you should check out. But as a brief overview, you're going to double left click on this, set it up the style as you want, go to template down here, click Save As, and you'll type in the template you want for the future. Now that we have all that taken care of, I love this as a support and resistance line. I don't like it as a trade to take since it's already been used so many times. It's going to be weaker the next time we get to it. So from here, I'm really looking for the next possible spot. As I'm looking downwards just a little bit, it's pretty clear to me this is the next really good support and resistance line. We came all the way up this long path, and this part right here, where did it reject? Basically on that line. Came up and down, hovered around it for a bit, up again, where we reject on this blue line before a nice downturn. Came above this line, and by the way, just for the purpose of seeing this all more clearly, I'm going to delete my top line here. So as we were saying, we came above this now. Where we come back down to? This support over and over again. And we haven't quite come to this since December 6th. And now, when I was looking at this, it's all the way to January 25th, over a month later. And I know this has been a strong support and resistance line in the past, so this is an area I'm strongly considering. Now from here, whenever I have an entry, I look for the next best support and resistance line, usually within about 3% of this entry, to use as kind of my stop loss barrier. So what I'll go ahead and do is take my price range tool, and if you don't know where this one is, it's all the way down here. If you haven't touched any of these before, you'll see this one as the default, this long position, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th down from the top on TradingView. You'll open this up, click price range, feel free to favorite it if you want to, like I do. And then I'm just going to pull downwards from this line. I just want to know a general area of, because I like to have roughly 2.5 to 3% risk, where am I looking for the next really good support line that I can use before stopping out of this trade. So I pulled that down and I drew a box over it. Box is over here, under brush, 4th one down from the left on TradingView. And I'm looking for a zone in here, and it's pretty clear to me that almost near the bottom of this box, right where my mouse is hovering now, we have this kind of, you might have to zoom in a bit to really see this, so I'll go ahead and do that. You can see that we came down from here pretty strong with a rejection right there. We came down from here pretty strong with a rejection right here. And if you draw a line in this area, you can actually see that these prices are exactly the same. Let alone, we use this as a resistance here, up in this area, right here before we came back downwards. So zooming back out, I'm going to go ahead and delete this box now. Delete my price range. You can see it's roughly about 2.5%. And I'm going to turn this line to red. What this will mean, and I'm just going to go ahead and scroll this chart back, just so you don't have too much of a sneak peek. Now what this red line means is I'm going to enter it blue, and I'm going to set my stop loss just below this red line, because I think this red line is going to be a really good support line also, as we just identified. And if we fall through this one and this one, my trade is wrong. I'm going to take the loss here and just get out. Furthermore, I always shoot for 1.2% profit on my trades. Now why 1.2%? Because I like to shoot for the 1% profit, but after the Binance fees, the 1.2% covers those pretty nicely, and then you get close to a standard 1% trade on 1% profit on your trade. So I just take my same price range tool, draw it upwards to the 1.2% mark, and just like that, this is going to be where I'm shooting for profit. I turn that to my sell template, which is a green line, and that will be the trade I enter if we ever come down. So now scrolling in real time, the price does start to fall downwards, and boom, we hit my blue line. I'm now in the trade. From here, I'm going to zoom inward so you can really see. So now I've zoomed in to real time, and it just hit the blue line, so I've entered my trade here. I'm now waiting for it to either touch the green line or get below the red line where my stop loss is set. You can see this gets pretty close, but not quite there. And as we're moving slowly over in real time, you can see that this breaks my green line just barely right in here. And even if it didn't, we do come down to this red line, and it acts as an awesome support, as I was saying before. I figured it would be a really strong secondary support line. That's why my stop loss is just below it, maybe down in here somewhere, 0.25% at most below that. And then we bounce even stronger upwards. This is more than a 6% bounce. But that doesn't matter to me because this green was my target anyways. Always have a profit and a stop loss established before you enter a trade. That's really important for risk management. I always stick to my plan. I executed my sell here as I planned. Even though the trade went up afterwards, had it not acted as support here and just continued to fall down, I would have already been out. If you guys did like this video, please let me know in the comments below so I can make more videos like this for you. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe for more of the same content. Thanks for watching.